Know me what they told you, but you got me fucked up. But you got me wrong. Damn, you can't see me my stuff. I got everything got the box. Ain't me about stuff. Don't make me a monster. I can't have no conscience. See, I'm trying to call me. It's only one me. All right. All right, all right. What we talking about? All right. Let's see here. Right. Smooth, smooth. We're gonna get started shortly. Welcome everybody. It's the one and only Master myself. This here is the Master Table. We're gonna go ahead and go live on IG as well. How to communicate to get what you want out of life. That's what we're talking about today. Be a powerful mastermind. We're gonna get started shortly. Let's get set up here. Uh-oh. All right, all right. All right, going live on IG in the same manner. We're gonna go ahead and tap in, man. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Another day, another creation, another moment in time. Let's level up again. What's up, IG? It's the one and only Master myself. I'm here getting ready to go live here on IG on IMC TV, right here live on YouTube and so on and so forth. This happens every single cycle. Well, it didn't happen last cycle, okay? But this cycle, we're back at it. We're creating again. Another great moment in time, man. We're going to tap in talking about how to get what you want with your communication. All right, we're going to get started shortly, man. What a pleasure and honor it is to be amongst y'all again. Let's go ahead and tap in. All right. First and foremost, don't understand that everything that I do and say here is done under the banner of entertainment. All right. So don't take what it is I say seriously. Number two, this is for adults and adults only. That means no kids, no children in the room. If there are kids or children in the room, remove them from the room. Because what I said may be explicit. All right. So you've been warned. Number three, wherever you are, do not break the laws of the land. Respect the laws until those laws are oppressing you. Then you have the right to fight back. Number four, as an adult, you're responsible for your own actions. All right. So don't take what it is that I say and take it out of context, so on and so forth. All right. And number five is I go by the name Master myself, and I'm here and I'm ready to serve, man. It's a pleasure and honor to be amongst you again. Um, this here is my personal creation, right? I've been doing this for years at this time. And every single time I get on here, man, it's just a testament to the evolution that is IMC Nation. First and foremost, I say J Guru Dev to my mentor and the founder of IMC Nation, AZD. As he is, I'm saying, the man that came before us. You understand me? Me being a lifelong martial artist, I've come to appreciate, those who come before, right? Along the same lineage, right? I pay respects in that manner. Next, let's know and understand that this is again my personal creation, and every single time it's a measurement of my character, it's a measurement of where I'm at. You know what I'm saying when it comes to my communication, and how I'm attracting the life. You understand me that I'm seeking, right? The life that I'm designing, the life that I'm creating step by step, moment by moment that we've been creating together as IMC Nation. None of us are ordinary individuals. This is a worldwide movement that is truly here to change the world, and we're changing the world first and foremost by changing ourselves. And we change ourselves every single day. We meet every single day. We have a daily process, which means that we change ourselves daily. And part of that change, part of that process, part of that evolution, as I'm buttoning my shirt here, part of that change and part of that evolution on a daily basis is our communication, right? And so this is a tool, right? When every time I get on here and I'm streaming, this is a tool that I'm utilizing to improve my communication, right? So by the end of this, you should be better just by listening, because communication happens in not just one way, right? It's not just one person saying something, it's also the person interpreting what's being said or receiving what's being said. And so, communication happens when you have this dynamic between not just you, but it's somebody else that's also right, aiming to create um an energy flow, if you will, right, a dynamic, right, where you're charging and exchanging, not charging, but exchanging. There's a flow, there's a current, right? That's what currency is. Currency is an exchange. So there's some kind of exchange that's happening between the person that's speaking and the people that are listening, if you will, right? And oftentimes that communication can be through text, it can be through conversation, it can be through whatever reception is happening. That's why it's important that when you are speaking to people, you can see somebody, right? Because that seeing somebody is you knowing that the communication is being received on a different level. So we're talking about specifically, how to get what you want out of life through your communication. Well, one thing that blows my mind sometimes, right, is that there's people that just don't treat communication as if it's has the importance that it is. But one thing that I've learned from my mentor AZD time and time again is that he said that um, there's two keys in life, and those two keys start with the imagination and secondly your communication. Now those are words that I'm telling you about, but these are also worlds, right, in which I can dive deep into. I mean, if you've been here and tapping in with the Masters Table, the episodes in which we've had over the last probably 4 or 5 cycles, every single one has been talking about the power of imagination. So it's without um apology that I transitioned from there, and I'm now speaking to you from the point of knowing and understanding the power of communication is what's going to change um, what is possible in life, right? What I know is possible in life is it comes from me understanding that I'm no longer in the same condition simply because I chose to communicate. I chose to utilize my communication, and I understand that there's no greater work for me to do than to work on my communication every single day. Like imagine if you worked on your communication today at the level that you've never done before, right? Meaning that you put yourself in situations, circumstances where you got to grow, you got to evolve, you got to learn how to handle your communication on a different level. You got to learn how to not just handle that damn damn you gotta not only learn how to handle your communication but others communications, right? The dynamics of life, if you will, allow for so much growth and so much evolution through the power of your communication. But how do we get there, right? How do we get to the point of like being sharp with our communication, knowing that our communication is being delivered, knowing that our communication is being put out, knowing that our communication is creating an effect on somebody else? How do we know that? You're going to get to know that as you continue to communicate. You see, there's this process, or not process. There's this understanding that comes from communicating over and over and over, or doing anything over and over and over again to the point of mastery. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you set a standard of being a master at communication, it's going to require you to constantly be in communication with your world, with the world that's around you. When you're constantly in communication with the world that's around you, you're going to develop this you're going to develop a consistency that allows for your communication to continuously grow and continuously expand and get better and better and better. And that's only gonna happen. What's up, Trayvon Carter? I'm doing I'm you feel free to click the link in the bio. I'm doing a live stream on IMC TV. It's a worldwide platform for IMC Nation. If you don't know what IMC Nation is, you gotta do some research. But that's why I'm not gonna accept your request. I do thank you for your request to go live with me. Um, so you being in a constant frequency of communication, meaning what? If you're constantly communicating to your world with the intentions of becoming a master, at some point you're going to reach this point of what is known as critical mass, by definition of some scientists, I forget the name. Or you're going to reach the point of unconscious competence, meaning what? Meaning that you are getting to a point in a place where your communication is happening automatically. You're not forcing your communication out. You're not aiming to do anything with your communication. You are just communicating, and by you communicating, other people get better. By you pushing your words out from the inside, you're going to improve. You're going to get better. You're going to become a greater version of who you know yourself to be by simply forming words to describe your world, by simply allowing your communication to detail people, to speak other people what's going on with you, what's going on with me right now. If I was to utilize my communication, right, to communicate to you what's going on with me right now, well, I can tell you I feel extremely sharp. I feel extremely dedicated and disciplined and focused and in tune. I feel good inside. Like I'm this is my season, right? If you will, when it comes to the zodiac cycles and so on and so forth, right? So we're in the what is known as the Virgo season, or the sixth season in the cycle, or the collective cycle, the collective, I'm saying, understanding of solar, orbit, the solar orbit of the universe, if you will, of space, right? The space that surrounds the earth. There is a solar um cycle that's happening continuously, right? And that's what we call birthday, we call it new year, we call it a month, we call it a day, we call it time. All of these are just measurements of what's happening in our universe. And it's as within, so without, as above, so below. Meaning, as what's happening above in the solar cycles pertains to what's happening down here, right? So I'm making all that parallel simply to tell you that I'm communicating what's going on within me by simply letting you know, like, yo, this is how I'm viewing the world. And by that definition, or by that explanation, by me utilizing my words to deliver to you the fact that I'm not having a normal experience, whatever a normal experience would be. I'm telling you that I'm having a super normal experience, a supernatural experience, um simply because I'm aware of the power of my communication, simply because I'm aware of the cycle that's happening right now, and I'm able to utilize that to focus on what is going to be what I'm intending to communicate. And what I'm intending to communicate is that you have to utilize your communication to be able to understand the power of your communication. If you're not communicating on a continuous basis, meaning making a video, live streaming, going out and interacting with people on a continuous basis, if you're not in communication with your world, then you don't have a way to measure what I'm talking about. You have to constantly put yourself in a dynamic where you are evolving, where you are growing, where you're becoming greater and greater and greater, simply because you're constantly aiming to improve your communication. You can utilize your communication to have exactly what it is that you want. Remember the time where you were young, you were a kid, and you were talking to your parents and you wanted them to get you something because you knew that they had the means to be able to get you something. For example, one of my favorite things to do when I was younger was to go to was a place called Cold Stone Creamery, right? Where you go get the ice cream. You know what I'm saying? You get to pick your flavors, you get toppings to put on that joint. You understand me? Like we talking about a whole world of an experience as a kid. Come on, man. Like that's like a dream come true, right? Because you know, we have been programmed to have so much focus and get so much pleasure and so on and so forth from food, which is not a problem. But when I was able to learn how to communicate that, yo, I really, 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 really want this ice cream, and I was able to communicate or persuade or earn, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity to go and get some ice cream. Like if I did good in school, or if I was doing it, which is a whole interesting dynamic that I'm getting ready to break down. If I did get good in school, if I you know what I'm saying, was if I did well in choir when I was in church, if I was, you know what I'm saying, great in my martial arts practice and so on and so forth, well, I would get some kind of reward. And oftentimes I would be surrounded by food. Now, I'm sure not only I had that experience, I'm sure many of us as kids had that experience in the sense of like every single time that we were able to communicate what it is that we wanted, right? Whether they asked us what it was that we wanted, or we just brought it up and was like, "Mom, I want to go get some ice cream. I want to go to Cold Stone. Can we do that?" You know what I'm saying? Like having that intention, that pure desire to do that, and then utilizing my communication, I'm able to get what it is or shift into the timeline where that happens for me, right? I'm speaking, kind of metaphysically right now. So when I say shift into the time, I'm simply saying what you want is not available until you find the words to communicate about it. When you find the right words to tell your girl that you are going to have multiple women in your life, then you can live in that experience. Until you find those words, that's not available to you. It's not available to you at all, because you're going to be either living in a lie that you're especially as a man in the year 2024, we got to be real. We all want more than one woman. If you're a man and you haven't owned up to that, if you haven't admitted to that, it's going to be uncomfortable for you, right? Because I may say those words, somebody else may say those words, or somebody else may be living that life, and you may be trapped in the situation and circumstance where you feel like you can't tell the girl that is the girl of your dreams, or your girlfriend, or whatever the case may be. You feel like you can't communicate to her, right? And you can't let her know, like, yo, this is actually what I want. That's simply because you have not yet found the words. What's up, Zero? What's going on, brother? You simply have not found the right words, right, to talk about what it is that you want. So when we're talking about communication, we're talking about something that you can utilize to get exactly what it is that you want. You utilize your communication, oh, brother. You utilize your communication to attract what it is that you desire. You utilize your communication to let somebody know that, yo, this is what's going on with me. Yo, this is what's happening with me. And because I'm utilizing my communication, I can say, so because you understand this is what's going on with me, is there a way that you can help me out? Right now that you understand what's going on with me. And that's the simple power of our own communication. This becomes extremely powerful when you understand that your communication with the female, right, is a reflection simply of your communication in every other area of your life. So if you aim to improve your communication when it comes to the house dynamic that you live in, the people that you live with, if you live with people, the people that you're interacting with on a regular basis, right? When you go to grocery stores, or when you're going to, I'm saying, to certain areas in which I mean, I live in Las Vegas, so I'm on the strip every single day, right? So I'm seeing people that are in the not in the strip, but work on the strip on a continuous basis. When I'm seeing that, I'm seeing the opportunity for me to bridge the gap of communication, because there's just simply not a communication line that's been established in many different areas, right? For most of us, if that's not there, then you can't get what you want, right? You can't live in a reality where you can quote unquote get away with things, or where you can that's the wrong terminology right there. Not get away with things, but you can be allotted pleasures. You can be allotted to um do what you want or get what you want simply because you understand the power of your own communication. You understand the opportunity that's available. The moment that you meet somebody, like for example, I walk around in the casinos, right, and the hotels that are here on the Las Vegas Strip. It's a very unique experience. I'm getting ready to describe something that probably very few people have ever had reality on. But when I walk through this strip and when I walk and I'm engaging in these environments, I have an opportunity and I take advantage of that opportunity to connect with those people simply because I understand that they see me every day. I see them every day. I'm aware that I have the ability to communicate. So when I communicate to them, I'm acknowledging their presence where other people won't do that. You get people from all across the world who are just falling into the seduction of Las Vegas. And I'm just giving this as an example. You can look at it wherever you are and whatever your situation circumstance is and see the reality for yourself. But we get people from all across the world continuously coming to Las Vegas to do what? To party, to drink, to have sex, to have fun, whatever their idea of fun is. They want to be entertained. They want to be lost in this Disneyland of adult experience, right? And getting lost in that is it can be a trap because you're putting yourself in a situation where you're dimming the awareness that you have in your life, and that simply changes the way that you relate to life, right? And so getting back to communication, like your communication can allow you to maintain a level of awareness, right? To maintain a relationship. That's what I've seen. Anytime I go out with AZD, I get the opportunity to when you're in Las Vegas and you're in IMC Nation, it's a whole different world. But we have an opportunity to go out with AZD and to be in field, to be in the same environment where he's seducing and attracting some of the most beautiful women, aligning with some of the most powerful men, aligning with just people around the world that want to be involved with what it is he's got going on. That's a result of, it's a direct result of the power of his own communication, right? He utilizes his communication to create effects or create distance within distance, or it's distance all the way around, right? I guess the right word would be proximity, distance or proximity, right? With those who are within the environment in which he's at, or in which he's in, right? So whether it be a strip club, whether it be a nightclub, whether it be in a casino, whether it be in a hotel, whether it be in your home environment, whatever dynamic it is that you find yourself, we have to constantly remember we're in a dynamic where these dynamics are simply a reflection of our communication. So you're either in communication with your environment or you're not. You're either in communication with the people that are around you or you're not. And being in communication allows you to do what? Allows you to create that environment the way that you desire, right? So based off of the way that you communicate to your world, based off of the way that you are engaging with your world determines a relationship with that world. Your communication is attracting the world of experience that you're experiencing every single day. So if you want new results in life, you gotta simply just look at your communication. Now, remember the two keys that AZD said are imagination and communication. So those two keys are your responsibility. And if you go back to the stream in which we had last cycle, we talked about taking responsibility. Your responsibility is your ability to respond in life. So you have an ability to respond, and your ability to respond starts with what? Your imagination. So look at the last 5 cycles of episodes. I talked about imagination, 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 imagination. It's all about creating with your imagination. I talked about how to utilize your imagination in different ways, in different manners. I give you guys a couple exercises, so on and so forth. All that's available, but that's your imagination. The activation of your imagination is through your communication. You guys only know what the master's table is simply because I give you the words to describe the world in which I see life from, if you will. Probably be the best way to say. The way that I see the world, you can upload, you can start to understand. And I'm working on my communication in terms of being able to best interpret and deliver the imaginative process that I have going on inside of my mind, like what I imagine myself to be doing when every time I'm streaming and I'm going here live on TV, on IMC TV, if you will. What I imagine happening is my words going out into the world and the world being able to receive these words different, right? Being able to understand my imagination, my creative process of how I think about life. If you get caught up in some kind of situation, circumstance in life, you should be able to come here, tap into my mindset, and see or hear something that you didn't hear or see in your own life or from your own perspective. That's why we tune into live streams. That's why people, that's why I first started listening to ACD, because he was talking from a whole nother world, a whole nother perspective. And he did that as a result of his teacher, Manu Tupo, who told him at some point he needs to get in front of the camera and speak to the world. Well, that's been a trickle effect, because I know I have to continuously come here to sharpen my communication, to get better at the way that I deliver what it is I feel like I understand what's going on inside. Only I can only speak from the place in which I think I understand, or the place that I understand, or the place that I see life. So I can only speak from that inner space. I can't speak from outer space. Outer space is a place that we all are engaging and communicating on. So our communication allows us to bridge that closer, right? But the inner space in connection to the outer space is a result, or how we understand that, how we interpret that, how we deliver that determines the reality in which we experience, because it is as within, so without. So the law of correspondence, as above, so below. Like I was telling y'all before, the solar cycle that's happening, right, is a reflection of what's going on upstate. I mean, upstairs, outer space. Like, right, and when it comes to the physical matter, the physical universe, we understand life to be in outer space, right, versus the inner space, which is the atmosphere in which we live in, right. The Earth has an own atmosphere, so on and so forth. Like we all have that same program. We all understand that, right, dynamic. But as without, so within. So it's a simple reflection of like whatever's going on out there is also it's a reflection of what's going on in here, and vice versa. Whatever's going on in here is a reflection of what's going on out there. They're connected. And so realizing that, how we bridge that gap is simply through our communication. Okay. So that's my main point. That's my main focus. What I want to tap in on today. It's been about a 30-minute, episode thus far. We normally end with a meditative moment, but I think I'm gonna do that every other cycle, so I'm not gonna do that on this one. I definitely just wanted to wrap it up and say, if you haven't listened to the old, recordings or streams that I did, I'll give y'all this simple process. The process is to sit down every single day and tap into your imagination. Okay. Um, I like to deliberately sit down for at least 15 minutes and just visualize the world of experience that I desire. Once you do that, you want to get in communication with your world, right? And start to communicate subtly the differences of your inner space. And it will happen automatically, right? So you don't have to worry about how you're communicating to the rest of the world. I simply encourage you to do that process. Sit down every single day for at least 15 minutes and just visualize and tap into, not just visualize, tap into the feeling. After you visualize it, tap into the feeling, and then allow that feeling to become just a dominant energy or frequency or vibration or vibe, right, that you carry when you're interacting with the rest of the world, right? So come from this place, the place of already having done what it is that you want, whatever that may be, and then learn how to communicate that way. Those are the two keys: imagination, communication. It's the one and only master myself. I'm going ahead and tapping out. You know what I'm saying? From the master's table, we live every single cycle. So y'all tap in, hit me on YouTube, right? You can look me up on YouTube at the same way that you see my name spelled on the screen. Master myself, Master. Myself is Mycellf. Y'all tap in with me there. Tap in with me on IG as well. Hit the link in the bio. Tap in, tap in, tap in. If you're in Vegas, tap in. You know what I'm saying? If you're ever passing through Vegas, tap in. because we got connections for you, we got value for you, we got opportunities for you. We have a whole movement that's going on here in the Las Vegas area, and we're just gonna continue to grow, continue to expand. You know what I'm saying, and come to know ourselves on a deeper and deeper level. You know what I'm saying, through the expansion of what it is that we're doing together as IMC Nation. All right. I'll leave y'all with a stoic principle, if you will, and that is temperance. Okay, one of the four major stoic values, and if you know anybody in IMC Nation, if you know anything about IMC Nation, you know anything about us as a men's movement worldwide, we are based in the foundation of stoicism. Okay, and so one of those values is temperance, meaning temperance is like it's like the moderation, right? It's the calibration that we have to life. So um aim to get better daily. And as you get better daily, you're simply going to learn how to uh moderate or calibrate, or let's see, let's find better words. You're gonna find a ways to adjust yourself or adapt is a better word, yourself to whatever dynamic you want to, focus on. And that dynamic is created daily. It's created step by step, moment by moment. All right. So move with temperance. Have that in mind, that you have the ability to adjust yourself and adapt to any situation, circumstance, or environment that you may find yourself in. All right. That's my ending to this episode. Once again, I go by the name Master myself. I'm here and I'm ready to serve as always, man. It's a pleasure. And always, I'm going to say J Guru Dev to my mentor, AZD, and the founder of IMC Nation. And salute to all my brothers in IMC Nation from across the world that's continuously tapping in. Salute to y'all. And yeah, man, that's what it is. So without further ado, we say be the best and fuck the rest in IMC Nation. What I say is knowledge itself is knowledge of wealth. It's the one and only Master myself. Tap.